Hello everyone, welcome to another video essay for smart and interesting people. This week officially starts the year of the horse and we need to take it seriously. Am I Chinese? No. Did I ever care about the Chinese New Year animal? No. But am I basing my whole year in this? Obviously. So basically, coming from the snake year, we experienced in 2025 a lot of grieving, letting go, pain, breaking patterns, etc. But enough grieving, enough anxiety. 2026 is the year of the horse. And that means choosing adventure, fun, creativity, movement. I feel like it's the year to feel, right? And this year I had the calling to live with this intention. Also, it's very linked to this obsession I have now for radical optimism, as do I would say. I have this goal of achieving a Kanye level of self confidence and delusion because I truly believe that it's the only way through and the only way to truly elevate yourself towards the life you truly want for yourself, right? Sadness and anxiety is over, delusion is in. And it's not me who says that. I'm seeing a lot of posts that are giving this energy, and like many of us are gravitating in this vibration recently. And honestly, it feels great to see this kind of like online trend of being extremely hopeful and whimsical as a way to fight dark times with. The other day I saw this amazing Substack that I truly cannot find. So if any of you know which is it that I'm talking about, please put it in the comments because I really want to give credit, but I cannot find it. But it said something along the lines of white people discover the world is unfair every 100 years and start making nihilist poetry, which automatically makes them appear smarter than the rest. The author of this article claimed that minorities have struggled with these realizations of unfairness and pain and grief for centuries, but have learned to embrace hope and positivism as a revolutionary act in dark times. Yes, the system sucks, not having privilege sucks, the social ladder sucks, and the world is unfair. However, will it help you or the world to spiral into this negativity just in your head? Go protest, go to riots if you want to make a change, right? But the place to do so is not in your mind. This is what I mean with radical optimism being my obsession recently, right? So we constantly see on our own lives that spiraling in despair and anxiety leads nowhere. However, if we try to view our lives with more positive eyes, it will be likely that the same energy is returned to us in opportunities, in love, in beauty. Talking about life opportunities, I feel like this really links to our sense of agency and self achievement. And to believe we will have good lives and great opportunities, we first need to understand why we can achieve them. And here comes the concept of self knowledge. Many of us are unaware that some qualities we have are actually strengths. And I feel like that is key to have a sense of being and capability in achieving our dreams, which is what gives us, in the long term, self confidence. So, how should you discover your strengths? I know that can be a hard task, but an easy way to have a specific idea about your strengths and your personality qualities, right, is to take the MBTI test online and read your strengths and the weaknesses you get. The other day I took it after many years and turns out I'm still a INFJ, and I was reading my strengths, and realized I'm actually an amazing person. Creative, insightful, driven by values and principles, seek to make a positive impact in this world. That's literally Virgil Abloh. So I started thinking about who has these qualities, and Google showed me Jesus, Kendrick Lamar, Lisa Simpson, Buddha. And you know what they have in common? They are smart, they are inspiring, collected, and kind hearted people. Also successful. So maybe that's linked. That's when it clicked and my self love episode began. Like most of us are not aware of our qualities or the progress we made through life. But if you make the time to actually like decipher your qualities, you will realize you are the shit. And things that we thought that made us weak are actually strengths that many people dream about having. Like being soft, dreamy, creative, emotional. These are qualities many people wish they had. Even for specific professions like being a writer or film director, a creative director, whatever our qualities are, we need to recognize them and maximize them. Which takes me to the second section of this video, which is what I like to call strength maxing. After you take the MBTI test, you will see your results divided in three blocks. So like relationship wise, career wise, and self development wise. So for this, I wanted to focus on my career, and I looked at my strengths and I got a trend visionary or predictor. So I was like, okay, yeah, I can see that, but how can I actually become a great researcher? Because looking at Pinterest boards is not enough. You need to do a proper research if that's going to be a part of your job, right? Another strength that I got was creativity. And okay, I am creative, but how can I maxify this strength? First of all, I started spending a lot more time outside, even if it's just for a walk. Like if you have a whole afternoon or like a whole day, you're at home. Don't do that to yourself. Nothing good is gonna come out of it. And inspiration is not something that knocks in your door. So you will more likely find it outside, maybe just on a walk with no headphones on and just walking around, um, meeting with your friends, going to the gym, whatever it is. Also, limit your social media. I finally deleted Instagram as well. I don't have TikTok. And I'm in this space of finding how social media can work in my favor and not consume me. So, for example, I do have Substack and I love it because you can actually read insightful posts of people that actually have time to think and share their views of the world. It also keeps me connected to the Gen Z trends and like what's happening in the world and in pop culture in general. Pinterest, of course, I feel like this is too many. The healthier Instagram. It allows me to see design stuff, fashion, keeps me inspired. Also, I look at many inspirational pictures and quotes, which I really like. And last thing that maxifies my creativity, I would say that it's going to the internet as if it was a place. But honestly, as we did when we were kids, right? So, like, you had some internet time in your laptop, you probably had a room for your PC. So now I like to call it laptop time. I was talking the other day with my friend about this. And just by sitting on a desk with a laptop, you can be looking at the same stuff like Pinterest, Substack, other social media, YouTube, whatever. You just feel more inspired for some reason and you feel more ready to create. And that's my point. And that also takes me to weakness minimizing. With this test, you don't only get strengths but also weaknesses, which are great to recognize and minimize. For example, I have the underestimation of my little victories. So, how can I minimize it? I have to create space for celebration that can include just journaling about what you're proud of today. That can be hosting some little parties because you reached 100 days in Duolingo. You can meditate about it, whatever. Also, I got difficulty to delegate, and that's so true because it gives me maybe more work than I should be doing, and of course, more stress. So, if I want to become a leader, I have to learn how to be a good one. So, I have to focus on how to be an inspiring, gentle leader, how to communicate when I need help with X or collaboration with X. What I'm trying to say is go get what you want. Be brave and be cringe and be adventurous and have fun while you do it. Truly think you are 2005 Kanye West and go for everything you want in life. Positivity maximizing to the fullest. Hashtag Year of the Horse. So back to the Year of the Horse mentality. What does this actually mean? I feel like the horse personifies many values and behaviors we should incorporate more from now on. So, in a situation of fear, insecurity, ask yourself, what would a horse do? Hypothetically. In practical terms, I feel like it's all about approaching your desires unapologetically. I saw this Substack post the other day that said, why do you self sabotage? It's not that you don't know what you want, you know, and you're certain of it when you see it. In fact, you quietly look for it when you're alone. You know the shape of it, the weight of it, the way it would settle in your hands and make you glow if you had it. And that's the part that scares you the most. It's not the wanting, it's the having. You're scared of having what you want because that thing, alive and pulsing, would require something of you honesty. At some point, the thing you want made you so ashamed that you just decided that you do everything you can to make sure you never need it again. You can't lose what you never let yourself reach for. You cover up that wanting with nonchalance because admitting that you can cave to your desires feels weak. Yet it's totally foolish belief. Why do you spite yourself? And then it said, there are moments when the wanting presses too close, when it feels like it might break you open and you'd slam it down. Tell yourself that wanting is the same as weakness, that freedom is the same as chaos. Let that sink in. So, what I want to do from now on is to find myself in this moment of desire, and instead of suppressing myself with what ifs or shame, actually embrace it with joy and curiosity as we did all the time when we were kids. So, again, a horse wouldn't rationalize everything or shame itself for wanting to run on a green, beautiful forest. So, this year we truly need to let go of judgment and rationalizing everything and have fun instead, enjoy the run. We need to have more fun and make it the center of our actions more often. That reminds me a lot of this image that I saw on Pinterest that I cannot get off my head. And it says, maybe you don't need more time to heal. Maybe you just need new experiences to show your nervous system a different reality. I also was seeing a lot of similar posts this summer that said, like, maybe you don't need to heal and do Pilates this summer, but to be hot and evil. And I rest my case there. So that's my rant for today. I'm very excited for what this year has to offer, and I'll see you guys on the next one.